welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to do a video on luxury products worth the splurge. These are some new well, one's not new, but these are some luxury products that I have found myself reaching for day in and day out, and they've really become somewhat of staples in my everyday makeup routine. Throughout this video, I will have demonstrations and application clips of myself using these exact products. So I figured just to let you know, the primer that I used for the base when we're applying these products is the Giorgio Armani Luminous Silk Primer. I just use a touch of this and I really focus it on the areas where I have visible pores, visible texture. It helps blur everything out really nice and soft, but it doesn't feel heavy. And I like this one. I've been reaching for it a lot because I think it's a good primer for day to day, especially because my skin's been more on the finicky, flaky, dry side. So I found myself wanting to use that more often. This illuminator has been so good to me even when I had a lot of, more visible texture and active breakouts. So this is from Chanel. It is the Chanel Le Beige Sheer Healthy Glow Highlighting Fluid, and it's in the shade Sunkissed. I think sheer healthy glow are the star keywords of the name because it really is a natural, sheer, healthy looking illuminator. Oftentimes I feel like sometimes, especially when I was dealing with a lot of the acne, certain illuminators were really just emphasizing it. A lot of times they all do, of course, because they bring light to the face and make, your face reflect back light. But this one is very sheer and soft, and it's not distracting. And I feel like even sometimes when I use strobes that are a little bit too intense, no matter what I put on top of them, I hate to use the word looks fake, but sometimes it was just looking a little bit fake. And I was really missing illuminator in my routine for a while because I felt like I just couldn't use it. It was emphasizing acne and texture, and it just didn't look good on my skin. So I tried this one. I love how sheer and just thin it blends out over the skin. I love how you can pair it with pretty much anything that you want. It's still versatile in the sense that you can mix it in with your foundation as well, but just even half a pump over the skin looks so beautiful and really does just give you that very natural, soft, lit from within glow that you could either wear on its own with some spot concealer, or you could put makeup on top of it. It's still, powerful enough to peek out from behind your makeup, but it's not so intense that it's going to make every little pore, bump, and pimple on your face just catch the light and look even more intense. I've been using it consistently for a little bit over a month, and I'm just going through it because I wear it almost every single day. I just absolutely adore the way this makes my skin look. The Chanel Water Fresh Tint has also been my base coverage product of choice ever since I got it. I was pleasantly surprised by how such a small amount of this product provides such a good amount of coverage, and it looks so natural. And I cannot emphasize this enough. The way that this feels on the skin is like literally nothing. It feels like you're just putting a serum onto your skin, and then once it dries down and sets down, it's like you forget you even have it on, and it passes the direct sunlight test. It looks so natural in direct sunlight, and I feel like the older I get, the more I'm really craving these lighter coverage products, because sometimes I'll even put foundation on and then I'm like, ugh, I feel like this just looks like too much on my skin right now. And I've really been liking these lighter tinted coverage products because I feel like they look a lot more natural. I feel like they just lay prettier on my skin, and they just don't emphasize, fine lines, texture, all of that. And this, like I said, it packs a ton of punch in terms of coverage. For me personally, it really helps hide dark spots, redness, and it just gives me like that right amount of coverage where I can still customize it. If I want a little bit more, I'll just use half a pump more and build that on top of the first layer, and I feel like it just always looks so natural, and it feels, like I said, I can't emphasize it enough. It really does feel like nothing on the skin, which I think is so nice for the warmer weather. This is the Bobbi Brown Light Peach color corrector, and I will say I do love a good peach color corrector, but I do find that a lot of the other ones I used regularly throughout the fall and winter are a little bit more emollient and they tend to move around. This one has a still, you know, creamy emollient formula, but it's much more dry and pasty in a good way, in the sense that it'll stay put. So I show you this on one eye compared to the other eye, and you can really see that this completely helps hide the dark shadowiness on the outer corner of my eye, as well as the under bag eye area. I have to go in with like a dot of concealer after I use this, and honestly I feel like you could even use this as the sole product underneath your eye. It does not settle into fine lines as much as other products that I have do. Of course, you know, I have those little folds under my eyes, so throughout the day when I start noticing it migrate, I'll literally just tap it and it's fine, it's good to go. That's like my touch up, if you will. But setting it with powder obviously helps a lot as well, but this one has been the best because it doesn't move around nearly as much as the other ones that I have. And I almost always will use a peach under eye corrector for the darkness under my eyes because I use prescription lash serum, so underneath my eyes gets really dark from that. And then I also have a lot of dark hyperpigmentation from acne, so I'll even use this to help spot and kind of like hide that darkness from acne that's already healed. But I think I already mentioned this, I'm not really sure. You can wear this on its own and it doesn't look peachy like a lot of the other ones do. This one has a very natural kind of like skin tone appearance to it. It doesn't look starkly, you know, peach on the face. One more product in the Chanel boat, the Chanel Cream Bronzers. So these are the reformulated versions. I really wanted to see how they compare to the old version. I much more prefer this, especially the one in the shade 395, which is obviously a lot more suitable for people that have a skin tone similar to mine. I like that they came out with a deeper version of this, and then the original is 390, which I believe is closer to the original Tan de Soleil. So there's quite a big difference in terms of shades. I feel like the Chanel Cream Bronzer, specifically 395, this is much more of a powdery cream than a lot of the other creams that I have. So like, you know, I love the one from Tom Ford, and I love like the Nude Sticks ones and the Fenty Cream Bronzer. Those are significantly more sticky and kind of stay set on the skin on more leaning dewy. This one sets down to more of a powder finish. So I find on my skin, which is dry, this is much more of a cream to powder finish. I don't have issues with this staying sticky throughout the day, and I just think it looks so natural. 395 has a beautiful red undertone and it's got a little bit of a gold sheen to it. It just melts into your skin, mimics your skin's texture. It really does look like your own tanned skin. So I'll usually do a little bit more of shaping and contour bronzing, if you will, with 395. And then 390 I think is really pretty because it's a lot lighter. So I feel more comfortable pulling this one more into the center of my face to really give it that extra warmth. This one I can pull into the center of my face as well. I feel like I can get away with more of that during the summertime when I'm a little bit more tan. But this one just looks a little bit more natural, pulled specifically into the center of the face. And these are the only bronzers I'm wearing today. And I feel like it just gives me a much more natural appearance. I haven't been reaching for powder bronzer quite as much. I feel like the creams are giving me that nice youthful look that I'm really wanting. If I recommend a powder cheat more than twice, like, you know it's that good. I've said this before, I think in a video. I did a TikTok on it. I showed it to you on my skin in direct sunlight. It still looks really dewy. This powder is something else. Okay, so this is the Dior Backstage Powder No Powder. This is a pressed powder for people who hate powder. I will try any powder that claims to be like no powder or, you know, not really feel like powder on the skin. Because as someone with dry skin, I want something that can set my makeup, but like I work really hard to make my skin look dewy and like juicy, and I don't want to take away from this glow that I don't naturally have. So a lot of times when you put powder on, it just takes all of that away. I feel like honestly too, powder sometimes makes me look a little bit older. I don't like how it settles into the lines on my face. I don't like how it makes me look crusty. and just not good. I'm like not a powder fan in general, but when I find one that will set my makeup, give it a little bit more longevity, and just make my cream products stay in place longer, I am like all for it. I cannot rave about this enough. You want to make sure when you apply this you use a fluffier brush. Don't use anything that's too dense because you don't want to deposit too much powder on certain areas of the face. But this just has the most beautiful natural blurring effect. It sets your makeup down nice and luminous, so you're not going to lose that natural glow. And because it's a pressed powder, you're only picking up such small amounts at a time, and I feel like it's really going to go far for me because I use such a small amount of powder to begin with. And this just, I love this powder so much. I haven't been this excited about a powder in a very long time. I like this better than anything else right now. This is my favorite powder. I will say that right now, like this is my favorite powder. Next up we have the Merit Cheek Color in Terracotta. Hello, perfect nude blush of my dreams. Specifically, perfect nude cream blush of my dreams. This is not too dark. This is not too light. This is not too peachy. This is not too, you know, cool toned to where I feel like it's not giving me enough of a healthy flush. It is quite literally just perfect. It is not so dewy that it's sticky, and it's just like, it's just so beautiful. I love the shade. I love the formula. You know I've been a really big fan of the Merit cheek colors for quite some time, but Terracotta is actually a work of art. This blush is beautiful. The other nice thing about Terracotta is because it's such this, you know, like flexible shade. I've worn it on my eyes. I've worn it on my lips, my cheeks, obviously, but it is beautiful. These Merit cheek colors are like one of the standout products that I've tried in a long time because I'm not much of a blush girl to begin with. So to get me to fall in love with a blush is a really big deal. But this shade Terracotta, I waited a long time to try these Hourglass Scattered Light shadows. This one is in the shade Burnished, and I really just like how this gives you a slight amount of sparkle. It is not so much sparkle that you feel like you are wearing a straight up glitter eyeshadow, but it's one of those shadows that has that twinkling effect, so you do get that little, you know, scattered effect of the glitter catching the light. They're very flattering. I think Burnished is a really nice one and done type of shade, which you know I am all about. If I can get away with wearing just one eyeshadow, then I will. It's the only thing I'm wearing today. I have it all over the lid and blended up into the crease, and I feel like that is a very nice, elegant look. And I feel like you have your whole eye look with just one shade, and then you even have like, you know, a nice multi-dimensional look. The shadow itself is quite foiled, but then you have those little bits and bobs of shimmer throughout the shadow, and it just looks a little bit more special than just, you know, a normal shimmer eyeshadow. I've definitely mentioned this mascara before, but every time I use it, I get really impressed by the results. It's the Shiseido Imperial Lash Mascara Ink. This is really one of those mascaras where I think if you already have really long lashes naturally, you're really gonna like this because it just gives you that super separated, clean length and barely there volume. So it really is, I don't want to use the word natural because it's not like a natural mascara. It's a very lengthening mascara, but I love the brush, and color me surprised when I found out that the mascaras I'm reaching for the most regularly have these micro plastic bristles. I used to hate this type of brush, but now I'm really liking the look because I'm finding that it just looks a little bit more flattering and natural for day to day versus the, you know, super wispy, voluminous mascaras that I still love my Dior show. But sometimes I see myself and I'm like, I feel like this is more nighttime appropriate, and I shouldn't be like wearing an intense amount of mascara during the day because it just looks really apparent. And I really have been liking this because it just looks clean, kind of like a lash extension effect. This is also not the waterproof version. This is just the regular version, and it holds a curl for me pretty well. Occasionally during the day, I do find myself needing to use a lash curler just to perk them up a bit more, but I've already been wearing this for a couple hours and I feel like the lashes are still holding tight and they still are in that nice, you know, like perked up position. We have some luxury lip products to talk about, and in these demo shots, I did line my lips with Pat McGrath Structure. This is a really nice shade. I feel like it just gives my lips that nice fleshy overline, and the Pat McGrath lip liners are also long wearing, so you can pair them with glosses and they won't disappear as fast as other lip pencils do. So, first and foremost, I know that TikTok has made the Dior lip oils go viral. They're like impossible to get, especially the shade Mahogany. I really want it, but I cannot get it. So, a lip oil that I really wanted to suggest that's actually cheaper than the Dior oils are the ones from Iconic London. These are, I think they're more than 10, they might be like $10 or $11 cheaper than the Dior lip oils. And the thing about lip oils is if you do find one that you really like, they all have very similar effects on the lips because they're going to give you just a kiss of color. They're not going to be as intense as they look in the tube. Like this one, for example, which is the shade One to Watch. You might think that this would be a little bit more vampy on the lips, but it's actually super natural and just gives you a barely there kind of like rosebud red tint. And then the pink one, which is in the shade Sugar Mama, practically clear. There's like barely a hint of pink to this one, and then I obviously have the clear as well, which is Out of Office. The Luster lip oils from Iconic London are going to give you a very similar effect to the ones from Dior, obviously at a cheaper price point, but you'll still get that nice like little bit of tint and very wet reflective shine. So if you are somebody who really craves that like wet looking lip, a lip oil is probably the way to go versus a gloss, because lip oils look significantly more glassy and shiny on the lips. I'm going to say that I feel like if you are somebody who actually wants like a noticeable amount of plumpness and color into your lips, may I raise you the Dior Lip Maximizer. This is not as popular as the lip oil. Obviously the lip oil gives you like that cute girl next door tinted color on the lips, but the Lip Maximizer does plump your lips. It's going to give you a little bit more coverage. It also lasts longer than the Dior lip oil because it's a gloss. It's a little bit more sticky, so it tends to stay put better. And there are, I think, the same shades in the oil in the Lip Maximizer. But the Lip Maximizer I've been using for literally years. I always repurchase these when I use them up. It's a gloss that I consistently use up and repurchase. So Lip Maximizer is actually going to make a different, like a noticeable difference on your lips. So if you are really wanting something from the Dior family that's going to give your lips a noticeable difference, some color, and some pout. Like these really do plump up the lips and like smooth all the lines in your lips. They give you a very plump, perky looking lip. So Dior Lip Maximizer is a really great one. The last one that I am obsessed with, it is the Givenchy Rose Perfecto in 110. This is their liquid balm. It's in a gloss component, so obviously you can just apply it with the doe foot. I love the shade of this. I love the fragrance of this. I love the way that this feels on my lips. I love the way this makes my lips look. I love this. This is a perfect like milky nude. It's so beautiful. It looks so nice on your lips. I've been wearing it almost every single day since I got it. I'm wearing it on my lips right now with just a little bit of lip liner. If you have a similar skin tone to me, or you generally like the same lip shades that I like, this is one to check out. Like I can't recommend this enough. I love this. I hope it doesn't get discontinued because I feel like sometimes with Givenchy, their beauty section is so weird. Like a lot of things get discontinued and it makes me nervous that I like that so much because they had a bronzer, they had a blush that I really liked, they had a mascara that I really liked, and I feel like they don't have that many staples that really stay around. So I will keep my eye on this. I'm gonna use this up probably by the end of the summer because I can't stop wearing it. I'm simply in love with that shade. So that is everything I wanted to mention for these luxury staples, luxury products that I'm really loving right now. I hope you enjoyed the demo shots. If you did, please be sure to leave a comment and let me know. Let me know if you're seeing anything new at Sephora that you really want to see me review, because I will gladly do that for you. But other than that, I think that's everything I wanted to mention in this video. Please be sure to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and I would love it so much if you would come follow me on Instagram and TikTok as well. And I'll see you in my next video. Thank you so much for watching this one. Bye everyone.